Vauxhall zafira with a diesel engine, it won't start. I've checked the fault codes, I've got a whole bunch of them. I think a lot of the things here are communication fault codes, but it's all history. So I'm going to check if I've got a good canvas signal. In the ABS I've got communication problems too. So I'll maybe try, in case one of those things is linked, and pulling the rest of it down. To go into the engine to see what's going on, I'm just getting no communication now. I'll try something else. ABS, see if this can speak to it. ABS is the same, it's not communicating. Battery is a bit low, but it's saying 12.0. So it might not be good to crank, but it's just dropped to 11.8, 12.0, somewhere in there. But I do have a light on for the can high, or can low, 14 and 6. So, looks like that's okay. I can look at that with a scope. Power there, I've got another one here on number 1 flashing away, and a ground. Both grounds are flashing, so I'm going to see what's happening on a scope of the canvas signal, see what it looks like. I've got these leads are plugged into there. So the yellow one is channel 1, the green one is channel 2. So looking at this, I've got 5 volts per division on both of them, and that doesn't look like a CAN signal at all. I'll change the time. Now that's messy, whatever that is. So I think I've just got to unplug stuff and find out what's causing that faulty signal. See there, the yellow one, that's going up between less than 5 to about 10 volts, and the green one, I'll just move the green so that I've got it on a line to make it a bit easier to. So that green cursor's on a line now. So that's about 5 to 12 volts roughly. So they're not right. Now I've got to unplug stuff to see what's going on. I was gonna disconnect the engine ECU, but it was easier just to do the ABS that's right down there whilst I was here. So I disconnected that wire and then came back to here. Now these, I'll just switch that back on. So the scalings are still the same, but we have a nicer looking signal. So I'm going to have to change the scalings to make it so we can see it better. So change it to 1 volt per division on both of these. Channel 2, same thing. Going the wrong way with this. 1 volt per division. If I put these two cursors on top of each other, maybe bring them both down. And bring the other channel down. Right there. So they're kind of much better now. More like you would expect. We could change the time and make that slower. Slow it right down. I'm going the wrong way with the buttons, I think. Zoom in. No, I was right. Yeah. So we've zoomed in quite a bit and we're seeing the pattern. There was nothing like that before. Oddly enough, I've lost the lights on here because the voltage range must be lower now, so 6 and 14 aren't lit up. I've still got number 1 flashing. So the yellow one, can low. Is there, so that's fine, the signal's fine. I'm going to do a new code read and see what's going on. Looks like it's a faulty ABS module. I could plug it back in and see if I get a messed up signal again. With the ABS unit disconnected, I'm now getting this far and I can select the codes, live data and stuff like that in the engine. So it does look like we found the right thing. I couldn't get into this before, so it's not going to tell me anything on the ABS because I've disconnected that. It'll start with the steering, with the ABS disconnected. No. Oh, I'm wrong. Some of the Vauxhalls don't start with the ABS disconnected. The Zafira obviously does, so I'll switch it off. I'm going to plug the ABS back in and see if I get the same fault. Problem is, now I've disconnected the battery to get to the ABS. I've now got a waveform again. Looks different with the ABS connected. Still don't have flashy lights on there on 6 and 14. I have a waveform. I'll just turn the radio off. Right. 1, 2, yeah. Let's see if it starts. Turn the heater blower down. This is starting again. So, is it the ABS that's faulty? All I did was disconnect it. Or was it because of the battery that it disconnected? I'm not sure. All the fault codes have cleared. Engine, ABS, steering column, it's all fine now, so signal still looks okay. You can see the range there, each square is 1 volt. I'll change the time a bit. Maybe if I go the other way. So you get some sort of idea what the waveform looks like. I might just have to see how they go on. Maybe we'll charge the battery, see how it goes on. It might have just been down to resetting the battery, taking it off, putting it back on. Because obviously I couldn't do this test with the battery disconnected. So I only did this test after disconnecting the first thing I thought of that was on the list, and that was the ABS. I thought it was going to be the module in the ABS. But it's working fine now. Got this set up here under the bonnet. They're saying 2 things, wiggle test and a tap test on the wire going into the ABS. Just in case it's going to help me decide what's wrong with this. Just wiggling those wires. It's totally fine. That doesn't make it easy to know whether it's the ABS module or not that's down there. It's not an original battery either. It doesn't look new, but it's not original, so it's been changed at some time. Looks dry and clean in there, no corrosion. And the same in there. The ABS side of it. You can't see anything faulty there. So that I've done something, I've just cleaned up the terminals on the car and on the battery. Hopefully that'll help, and then I'm going to start it, see how it goes, see if I get the fault to reproduce itself. Okay, an update on this one, it won't start again. I moved the car to here and the lights came on. I switched it off and it wouldn't start after that. It just doesn't even crank. I was going to show you, but I'll just show you this. And this is on the scales where it was when it was working, and it's totally out of range again. So I'll have to change the voltage to bring it down a bit, and you can see how the signal doesn't look right. That's 5 volts per division, so it's gone way off again. And we'll go into channel 1 and do the same with that, bring the scales down, and see it's totally off there. All I did was remove the battery enough so that I could reach down and move the ABS plug. I didn't move the plug. I just noticed this is already okay again, and then the car started. So it's something when I moved the battery. When I pressed on this fuse box right there, I think that might be something to do with it. Maybe I was knocking it with the battery, because it's going okay. When I pressed here, it's gone. Right at the top. See, it's at the top of the screen. I'm going to lift this. So just around this area. So I think when I press here, yeah, as soon as I press that, it came on. So I might just have to clean up contacts under this. So we know it's this fuse box that's the problem. We need to look in there. There's water getting into here. I've took the top off the fuse box. And on the bottom of it, I can see the water. The green stuff there, the corrosion. Maybe some spiders. But I'm just going to take this apart and see what the wires are like underneath and see what's going on inside here. Here it is again. Now that I've opened it up, you can see it's got the green stuff and it's going all the way through the board. So it's really in there. I don't know if we can just change this. I think that part of it's going to be the module, that'll be maybe coded. I don't know. But that looks not too bad, so if we get a new or a second-hand fuse box, we could change this. Put all the fuses back in the right places. It might be okay.